If you're over 60 and waking up feeling just a little more tired, a little more distant from your body, and wondering why it feels like your strength, your drive, and your connection as a man are slowly fading, please listen closely, because what I'm about to share might change the way you see your own body, not as something falling apart, but as something quietly asking for help. Every night while you sleep, your body is still trying to heal, still trying to rebuild muscle, still trying to restore blood flow, even to the most private parts of you. But it can't do that without the right support. And the truth is, most men unknowingly sabotage their own recovery. Not during the day, but in the hour before bed. You see, the body doesn't stop working just because you're asleep. In fact, that's when some of the most important healing begins. Your hormones reset, your blood vessels try to relax, your nervous system finds balance again. But if you're going to bed dehydrated, undernourished, inflamed, or running on empty, your body can't repair what's breaking down. My name is Dr. Max Cole. I'm a board-certified urologist with over 30 years of experience working with men across America. Men who, just like you, want to feel strong again, steady again, and deeply connected to who they are as fathers, husbands, and men. In this video, I'm going to walk you through one of the most overlooked strategies in men's health, a simple science-backed ritual that can restore blood flow, rebuild testosterone, and help you wake up feeling more alive than you have in years. We'll talk about 7 specific foods, each one easy to find, each one clinically proven to support circulation hormones and restful sleep. So before we begin, click the like button, subscribe to Life Over 50 Plus, and let's take this quiet, powerful step together. Let's begin. 1. Why blood flow down there fades at night, and why that's your greatest advantage. There's something no one tells you about aging. Not in the magazines, not in the commercials, and sometimes not even in your doctor's office. It's this: your body doesn't lose blood flow down there just because you're getting older. It loses it because it's running out of fuel. And the strange part is, the fuel shortage gets worse at night. Most men assume the damage happens during the day. Too much sitting, too much stress, too many meals that clog the arteries. And while all of that plays a role, the real opportunity for healing doesn't come at noon. It comes at night, yes, right before bed. That's when your body is whispering, give me something to rebuild with. And if you don't listen, if you go to bed hungry, inflamed, or depleted, you wake up a little weaker each day. Let me tell you a story. A man named Henry came to see me, 73 years old, retired police officer, broad shoulders, but when he sat down, you could tell something inside him felt small. He said, "Doc, I still love my wife. I still want her, but it's not working anymore, and I don't feel like myself." We talked. He didn't have diabetes. His heart was stable. But when I asked about his nighttime routine, he said, "I usually skip dinner. I figure I sleep better that way." And that's the moment everything clicked. Henry wasn't broken. He was starving. Starving his circulation. Starving his hormones. Starving the very systems that help a man feel like a man. You see, during deep sleep, your body does remarkable things. It releases growth hormone. It repairs muscle tissue. It resets your nervous system. And most importantly, it activates endothelial cells, those tiny miracle workers that rebuild your arteries from the inside out. But there's a catch. All of that requires raw material. And if you haven't eaten the right foods, proteins, healthy fats, nitric oxide precursors, your body simply can't do its job. That's why so many men wake up feeling groggy, disconnected, less responsive. It's not a lack of testosterone alone. It's the lack of fuel to support what your body naturally wants to do. Now, here's the part that gives me hope every time. The body doesn't stop trying. Even at 65, even at 85, even after years of low libido, erectile dysfunction, or low energy, your biology still wants to recover. The secret is giving it the chance. So I had Henry make one small change, just a spoon of nourishing food before bed. Nothing heavy, nothing fancy, just something rich in nutrients. And within 10 days, he felt it. Better sleep, more presence in the morning, and yes, he said I finally felt like I was back in the room again. Now, if you're hearing this and thinking, could it really be that simple? I get it. We've been sold the idea that solutions must be complex, but sometimes the greatest healing begins with the smallest changes. So tonight, when you stand in your kitchen, don't just think about sleep. Think about circulation. Think about giving your body what it's asking for. If this section speaks to you, drop a comment below. Tell me, have you ever noticed a change in your morning energy, or have you tried nighttime nourishment before? Let's start a conversation. And now let's take a look at the very first spoon that can help your body reignite its nitric oxide engine while you sleep. It's humble, it's familiar, and it's probably already in your kitchen. Let's talk about soft-boiled eggs. Shall we? Soft-boiled eggs, nitric oxide ignition. What if I told you that something as simple as a soft-boiled egg could quietly help rebuild the circulation you thought you had lost? Not a drug, not a supplement, just an egg. Before bed. Most men think of eggs as breakfast food. They scramble them with toast in the morning, or maybe fry them on a Sunday. But few ever think to eat one at night, and almost no one realizes what that egg can do while you sleep. Let me take you back to a man named Richard. He was 70, tall, former military. When he walked into my office, he had the posture of a strong man, but his voice was uncertain. He said, "Doc, I'm losing my edge, not just in the bedroom, but in who I am. My strength, my energy. I'm not the man I was." We looked at everything. Testosterone was lower than it used to be, but not dangerously so. Heart stable, no major medications. But when I asked about nighttime nutrition, he gave me the same look I've seen 100 times. He said I'd just drink some water and go to bed. Thought that was the healthy thing. It's a common mistake. Many seniors believe avoiding food at night is good for digestion, weight, or blood sugar. But the truth is the body still needs fuel, especially fuel that supports hormone balance, muscle recovery, and nitric oxide production. Here's where the science gets interesting. Soft-boiled eggs are rich in leucine, a key amino acid that stimulates muscle protein synthesis and triggers the release of growth hormone. They're high in vitamin B12, which supports healthy nerve signaling. And they're loaded with choline and vitamin D, both essential for testosterone health. But the real magic lies in nitric oxide. That's the molecule your blood vessels need to relax and widen, especially down there. And when you're over 60, your nitric oxide levels can drop by more than 50%. Richard had no idea any of this, so I gave him one simple instruction. One soft-boiled egg, 1 hour before bed, nothing more. He looked at me like it couldn't possibly matter. But he trusted me. 10 days later, he came back smiling. He said, "Doc, I don't know what's happening, but I feel more solid, more aware. I'm waking up with that morning energy I haven't felt in years." You see, it's not just about performance. It's about reconnection to your body, to your confidence, to the quiet feeling of being whole again. Soft-boiled eggs are gentle, easy on digestion, and they release protein slowly across the night, giving your arteries and tissues exactly what they need, right when your body is doing its deepest repair work. And here's my favorite part. This isn't hard. This isn't expensive. This isn't about adding another pill to your shelf. It's about rethinking your relationship with food and realizing that nourishment doesn't stop at sunset. So tonight, just try it. Boil an egg, keep the yolk a little soft, eat it slowly without distraction. Let it be your quiet ritual. And if you've ever tried nighttime nutrition, or you're going to start with an egg tonight, leave a comment below. Tell me how it feels. Tell me what changes. Sometimes the smallest shifts lead to the deepest transformations. Next up, we're going to talk about a creamy, comforting spoonful that's already in your pantry. And it might be the most overlooked circulation booster in your entire kitchen. Let's talk about almond butter. Shall we? 3. Almond butter, the artery relaxer. Now let me ask you something simple. When was the last time you thought about almond butter as medicine? Not as a snack, not as something to spread on toast, but as a quiet healer, a nightly companion, a tool to support blood flow, hormone balance, and restful sleep. I want you to meet Paul. He was 74, recently retired, and recently dating again after years of solitude. He sat across from me, shoulders slightly slumped, and said, "Doc, everything else is working, but I'm not." There was no shame in his voice, just confusion and a hint of sadness. His labs were decent, blood pressure a little high. Sleep erratic, energy dipping in the evenings. And like many older men, he had no evening routine, no nutrition to support his body through the night. That's when I introduced him to almond butter. Just 1 spoon. Before bed. You see, almond butter isn't just a healthy fat, it's packed with magnesium, which helps relax the smooth muscle lining your blood vessels. It lowers resistance. It improves flow, not just to your heart, but to the areas of your body that define your intimacy, your strength, and your confidence. It's also rich in arginine. That's an amino acid your body converts directly into nitric oxide, your circulation's best friend. And there's more. Almond butter stabilizes blood sugar through the night, and that matters, because spikes and crashes in your glucose while you sleep, they quietly sabotage your hormone balance, your energy, and even your ability to wake up strong. Paul was hesitant, said it sounded too easy, but he tried it. 1 spoon. On a piece of whole grain toast, an hour before bed, and 2 weeks later he walked into my office taller, more color in his face. He looked me in the eye and said, "Doc, I feel 20 years younger. I don't know what changed, but I'm different now." And so is she. That's what happens when you stop starving your body at night, when you stop thinking of sleep as just rest and start seeing it as repair. Gentle, nourishing repair. So tonight, if you're standing in front of the pantry wondering what to eat, remember this: sometimes 1 spoonful is enough to begin healing, enough to feel like yourself again. Have you ever tried almond butter before bed? Or has another bedtime food helped you in ways you didn't expect? I'd love to hear your story. Drop a comment below. And now let's move into something a little more tart, a little more nostalgic, and surprisingly one of the most powerful natural tools for sleep and sexual health in older men. Let's talk about tart cherry juice. Ready? 4. Tart cherry juice, the sleep circulation superfood. Let me take you back for a moment. Do you remember those little glass bottles of cherry juice your mother used to keep in the fridge? Tart? Bright red, a taste that made your eyes squint and your heart feel something warm. Now, what if I told you that same juice from your childhood might be the exact thing your body needs at this stage in life, especially if you're over 60, especially if sleep has become shallow, if energy feels thin, and if your mornings are missing the firmness and vitality you once knew? I want you to meet Leonard, a retired bus driver, strong voice, steady hands, but inside, a quiet storm. He came to me frustrated. He said, "Doc, mentally, I'm there. I want to connect with my wife. But physically, it's like my body left the room." I listened, and I asked one simple question. "When was the last time you had a deep, uninterrupted night of sleep?" He laughed, then sighed. It had been years. So we began gently. We introduced just 1 small glass, tart cherry juice, about 30 minutes before bed. Now let me tell you why that matters. Tart cherry juice is one of nature's richest sources of melatonin, the hormone your brain uses to signal deep restorative sleep. And while you rest, another magic begins. This juice also contains anthocyanins. They're powerful plant compounds that reduce inflammation, boost nitric oxide, and improve blood vessel function, all while you sleep. That means while you're dreaming, your arteries are relaxing, your circulation is improving, your body is working to restore itself down there. Leonard called it his evening reset ritual. Within days, he was falling asleep faster. Within 2 weeks, he was waking up rested, and in his words, surprised by the strength he was feeling again in the morning. He didn't change everything, just one thing. That's the beauty of this approach. Simple, gentle, powerful. You don't need to overhaul your life. You just need to give your body the signals it's been waiting for. Have you tried tart cherry juice before bed? Or do you have a nighttime habit that helps you feel more like yourself? Drop it in the comments below. Your story may help another man take the first step tonight. Now, if cherry juice soothes and rebuilds from the inside, the next food I'm going to share works even deeper. and it might already be sitting quietly in a bowl on your kitchen counter. Let's talk about pumpkin seeds. You're not going to believe what these little green guys can do. 5. Pumpkin seeds, the mineral powerhouse in a spoon. Sometimes the smallest things hold the greatest healing power. That's exactly what I tell my patients when I hand them a small Ziploc bag filled with pumpkin seeds. They look at me like I'm joking, but I'm not. You see, these tiny green seeds have been quietly waiting on your kitchen shelf. And if you're a man over 60 struggling with sleep fatigue or frequent trips to the bathroom, they might be one of the most overlooked allies in your health journey. Let me tell you about Don. Don was 6, a retired electrical engineer, soft-spoken, precise. He came into my office one morning looking drained. "Doc," he said, "it's like clockwork. I'm waking up 2, sometimes 3 times a night just to pee. By morning, I feel like I've run a marathon in my sleep." But it wasn't just his bladder. His energy was crashing during the day. His confidence in the bedroom was fading. And he was starting to believe this was just part of aging. But here's what we found. Don's prostate was slightly enlarged, which is common. But what was missing were key minerals his body needed to manage that inflammation, regulate his hormones, and support nighttime circulation. That's where pumpkin seeds come in. Just 1 to 2 tablespoons before bed can make a remarkable difference. They're rich in magnesium, which helps relax the smooth muscle in your blood vessels, allowing blood to flow freely throughout your body, especially to the groin. They're packed with zinc, which is essential for testosterone production in prostate health. And they naturally contain tryptophan, a precursor to serotonin and melatonin, meaning they help you fall asleep deeper, faster, and with more hormonal balance. But that's not all. Some research even suggests the phytosterols in pumpkin seeds can help shrink the prostate over time, improving urinary flow and indirectly boosting sexual function. Don started taking his pumpkin seeds plain, sometimes with a few slices of banana, sometimes just a spoonful by itself. Within 2 weeks, his nighttime bathroom trips dropped by half. And within a month, he came back with more energy, a stronger voice, and a quiet smile when I asked about his intimacy. He said, "I don't know what's in those seeds, Doc, but I feel like something switched back on inside me." That's not a miracle. That's nature given at the right time in the right way. Are you someone who wakes up too often at night? Have you ever tried pumpkin seeds before bed? Let me know below. Sometimes your comment might be the nudge another man needs. And as powerful as these seeds are, what comes next is even gentler and maybe even more familiar. It's creamy, cooling, and works all night long to rebuild your strength. Let's talk about Greek yogurt and why it deserves a place beside your toothbrush each night. 6. Greek yogurt, dual protein for nighttime repair. There's something soothing about a bowl of Greek yogurt before bed. It's cool, it's simple, and it reminds many of us of slow, peaceful evenings. But here's what most men over 60 don't realize. That quiet little bowl of yogurt, it might just be the best nighttime medicine your muscles, hormones, and blood vessels have been craving. Let me introduce you to Robert. Robert was 70, a former high school football coach with a firm handshake and a gentle heart. He sat across from me, shoulders slumped just a little, and said something I'll never forget. "Doc, I feel like I'm disappearing, not just physically, but as a man. My sleep's off, my strength is fading, and even when I hold my wife, I don't feel present." That hit me hard, because I've heard it before. So I asked him one simple question: "What are you eating before bed?" He looked at me puzzled. "I don't. I thought eating late was bad." That's a common belief, but when done right, a light, intentional bedtime snack can become a quiet tool for rebuilding. And Greek yogurt stands at the top of that list. Why? Because it gives you 2 forms of protein your body desperately needs at night. Whey protein, which digests quickly and begins repairing muscles right away. And casein, a slow-digesting protein that feeds your body gently through the night, exactly when your tissues, blood vessels, and hormones are most active in restoration. That's not all. Greek yogurt is rich in calcium, which supports vascular relaxation and blood pressure. It's packed with B vitamins that help regulate testosterone and nerve function. And when you add a few berries or a sprinkle of chia seeds, You're giving your body antioxidants, omega-3s, and fiber that enhance circulation and keep your gut balanced too. Robert took it seriously. Each night about an hour before bed, he made a small bowl, plain Greek yogurt, chia, cinnamon, and a few slices of banana. After 3 weeks, he told me, "I don't just wake up rested, doc. I wake up feeling like I'm here again. Like I've come back into my own body." That's the power of quiet nourishment. At the right time, in the right way. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet. Sometimes all it takes is a spoon, a pause, and the willingness to give your body what it's been asking for. Have you ever tried Greek yogurt before bed? Tell me in the comments. And if you have a special mix or recipe that works for you, share it. You might inspire another man tonight. Now, while Greek yogurt gives you steady, gentle support, the next food goes even deeper. It's old-fashioned, often forgotten. But inside its soft texture lies a secret weapon for blood flow, muscle strength, and confidence. Let's talk about cottage cheese and why it may be the most underestimated ally in your nighttime routine. 7. Cottage cheese, the silent muscle builder. Sometimes the simplest foods carry the deepest wisdom. And cottage cheese, well, it's one of those forgotten treasures. Soft, mild, humble. But inside that creamy texture is one of the most powerful tools for rebuilding male strength after 60. I'll never forget Frank. He was 72, a retired mechanic with rough hands and a quiet voice. He told me, "Doc, I used to feel solid, strong, grounded. But lately, I feel like I'm melting, like my strength is slipping through my fingers." He wasn't just talking about muscles. He was talking about his identity. We looked at his routine. Good sleep, some light walking. But one thing stood out: his body was missing nighttime fuel. I asked if he'd ever tried cottage cheese. He laughed a little and said, "That's old people food." I smiled. Exactly. You see, cottage cheese is rich in casein protein, a slow-digesting powerhouse. That means while you sleep, it steadily releases amino acids that repair and rebuild your muscles. When your body is doing its quiet nightly work, and when your muscles are strong, your circulation improves. Your balance gets better. And yes, your erections get firmer. But that's just the beginning. Cottage cheese is also loaded with leucine, an amino acid that activates muscle growth, especially in older men, and calcium, which relaxes your blood vessels and supports lower blood pressure. When Frank started adding just half a cup to his bedtime routine, sometimes with cinnamon, sometimes with berries, he came back 2 weeks later and said something I still think about. "Doc, I didn't expect much, but I feel steady again. I wake up clearer. My body feels like it's working with me, not against me. That's not magic, that's biology, and the right kind of fuel." So if you're listening to this and wondering whether a simple spoonful can really change the way you sleep, feel, and show up in your life, it can. You just have to give it a chance. Have you ever tried cottage cheese before bed? Let me know in the comments. Or tell me what other nighttime snacks have helped you feel stronger, because your story might help another man rebuild his. Now, if cottage cheese supports slow and steady repair, the next part of this journey brings it all together. It's a simple recipe I call the ultimate nighttime rebuild shake. 1 scoop, 1 glass, 1 act of care. Let's make it together. 8. The ultimate nighttime rebuild shake. Sometimes one quiet habit can flip the switch. I called this shake the reset button because for so many of my patients, men who've tried supplements, workouts, even medication, it was this one simple blend before bed that finally helped them rebuild. Not just muscle, not just blood flow, but confidence. George was one of those men, 75, recently recovered from hip surgery, and feeling like his body had forgotten how to be strong. He told me, "Doc, I'm doing everything I can, and still I feel like a shell of myself." That's when I introduced the shake. It's not fancy, it's not complicated, but it's grounded in clinical truth. 1 scoop of whey protein, fast absorbing, loaded with amino acids. 1 scoop of collagen peptides to support your joints, skin, and especially your blood vessels. And just 3 grams of leucine, a critical signal that tells your body, build muscle, repair, regrow. Mix it all in unsweetened almond milk. Add a pinch of cinnamon if you like. Drink it about an hour before bed. That's it. No artificial powders, no sugar bombs, just clean, purposeful nutrition for men over 60. George drank this shake every night, and within a month, his posture improved, his grip was stronger, and his smile said it all. He felt proud again. I thought I was too old to bounce back, he told me. But now I feel like I'm rebuilding something I thought I lost forever. That's what the right support can do. You don't need to chase trends. You don't need a cabinet full of pills. You need to understand your body and give it exactly what it's been quietly asking for. So if you're listening and you're looking for a place to begin, start here. One glass, one commitment, one message to yourself: I still care. Drop a comment if you'd like the exact shake formula. I'll reply personally. Now, even with all these foods, there's one mistake I see again and again. And if you're not aware of it, it might be quietly stealing your results. Let me explain. 9. Why most men fail at night and how to fix it. Here's the truth no one likes to talk about. Most men over 60 aren't failing because they're lazy. They're failing because they don't know when the body needs help most. And that time isn't during your workouts. It's not after lunch. It's not when you pop your daily vitamins. It's the hour before bed, that quiet window, right after you've turned off the TV, right before your head hits the pillow. It's when your body is whispering, I'm ready to repair, but I need your help. But instead, what happens? Most men go to bed empty, or worse, they grab the wrong snack. A slice of white bread, a glass of wine. Maybe just nothing at all. It seems harmless, but this habit starves your blood vessels. It leaves your hormones confused, and it blocks the deep healing your body is designed to do every single night. Let me tell you about Thomas, 68, retired construction worker, hard hands, hard life. He came in frustrated, said he was walking daily, cutting back on caffeine, trying protein powders. And yet, he still felt flat, disconnected, like nothing was working. When I asked him about his bedtime routine, he shrugged. Nothing really. I just skipped dinner. That was the missing piece. We added just one small nighttime food, some Greek yogurt with chia, sometimes a soft-boiled egg, sometimes a spoon of almond butter on toast. No pills, no overhauls, just one intentional step. And in 3 weeks, he came back, less groggy, more confident, and finally feeling like something inside was turning back on. He looked at me and said, Doc, I don't feel broken anymore. I feel like I'm waking up. So if you've ever felt that quiet frustration, if you've tried everything and still don't feel like yourself, maybe it's not what you're doing during the day. Maybe it's what you're missing at night, and maybe, just maybe, tonight is the perfect time to fix that. If this is making sense, leave a comment. Let me know what bedtime habit you're going to try first. Now, let's talk about how fast this all can change, because your body doesn't need months. Sometimes it just needs one quiet week. What to expect in 7, 14, and 30 nights? Let's be honest. When you have been feeling low, tired, or disconnected for years, it's hard to believe anything can change, especially not from something as simple as a spoonful of food before bed. But here's the hope I want to give you today. Your body hasn't given up on you. It's just been waiting for the right moment, the right support. And once you give it that, change doesn't take forever. It just takes consistency. Let me show you what I mean. James was 71, retired mail carrier, tough as nails but soft-spoken. He came to me not asking for miracles. He just wanted to feel something again. Strength in the morning, connection with his wife, energy that didn't fade by noon. He agreed to try the bedtime nourishment strategy, just 1 or 2 of the foods we've talked about. Each night, no pressure, no perfection, just a quiet commitment. After 7 nights, he told me, Doc, I'm finally resting, not just closing my eyes. Fewer wake-ups, deeper sleep, more peace inside. By night 14, he started waking up with natural, firm morning erections, the kind he hadn't felt in years. His wife noticed. He smiled more. He said his moods were lighter, like a cloud had lifted. And then came night 30, his stamina had improved. No more running to the bathroom every night. He felt stronger, more alive, more present, not just physically, but emotionally too. He said, I feel like myself again, not my younger self, my true self. And that's what happens when you stop starving your body at night and start feeding it with purpose. So ask yourself, what could happen if you gave yourself 30 nights? Not 30 years, not 30 new habits, just one food, one moment of care, each night for 30 days. If you're still with me now, let me know in the comments. Are you ready to try it for 7 nights, 14, all the way to 30? So as your doctor and your friend, there's just one last thing I want to tell you, and I hope you'll listen closely, because this next message is the most important one of all. Your doctor's final word. You're not broken, you're rebuildable. If there's one truth I need you to carry with you, it's this. Your body hasn't given up. It's been waiting, quietly, patiently, for you to listen. I don't care what your last lab test said, or how many nights you've laid awake wondering if this is just what aging feels like. I've seen it far too many times. Men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, walking into my office, heads, low hearts, heavy. But I've also seen them walk back out, stronger, lighter, more connected to themselves than they've felt in decades. Because when you finally understand how to work with your biology, not against it, everything changes. 1 spoon of soft-boiled eggs, 1 tablespoon of almond butter, 1 glass of tart cherry juice. None of it is magic, but it's real, it's clinical, and it's yours. Healing doesn't happen overnight, but it doesn't take years either. Just a decision, just a moment of care, repeated quietly every night before bed. As your doctor, I'm not here to push pills. I'm here to remind you of the wisdom that's always lived inside your body. And as your friend, I want you to know, you deserve to feel strong again. You deserve rest, you deserve intimacy, and you deserve to wake up with energy, clarity, and pride. This isn't about getting younger. It's about getting you back. So tonight, when you're standing in your kitchen, maybe tired, maybe alone, maybe not sure where to start, just ask yourself, what does my body need to feel alive again? And then give it that one thing, that 1 spoon, and let your healing begin. And if this message touched something in you, if even a part of you whispered, that's me, then I want to invite you into something deeper. Leave a comment below. Not just what food you'll try tonight, but the part of aging that's felt heavy, the part you've never told anyone. What's been hard to say until now, because when we speak it, when we name it, we start to heal. This isn't just a YouTube channel. It's a quiet space for men like us, a place to be heard, to be seen, to be real. So if you haven't already, please click the like button. Hit subscribe to join us at Life Over 50 Plus. And if there's someone in your life who needs to hear this, a brother, a father, a friend, share this video with them. Together, we're building something rare, a community where truth, pain, and healing all belong. You are not alone. You are rebuildable. And I'll see you in the next one.